Alright guys, I got a new project. I'm going to try to record, get the whole process done. I was in my kitchen the other night, looked around and decided I wanted something to hang on a wall in a certain spot. After thinking about it, I think I'm going to make a hog splitter, a real deal hog splitter, or a cow splitter. This thing's going to be quite large. Really don't know how big I'm shooting for yet. I'm just going to go with it, and whatever my mind thinks it needs to be, that's just what I'll do. I'm going to put it in what I consider a good proportion, usable. So I dug in my collection pile outside and I found a diesel leaf spring. It's pretty big, so it had a hole in it here where one of the pins went through to lock the stack together. I just cut that out and left this on, thinking, man, I might make it a part of the handle. We'll see, but at least I can get a hold of it with tongs. I cut a notch on this end, again for the same reason, just so I can get a hold of it with tongs, so I can hang on to it from either end. So this thing's a 1/2 inch thick, 2.5 inches wide. That's a massive piece of steel. But I thought, hey, I don't think it's big enough. So dug in my pile and I found some 1/4 inch plate steel, cut me 2 pieces. Gonna sandwich that on either side of, ouch, on either side of it to make a san mai. Okay, like the old katanas were. So then it'll be 1 inch thick, 2.5 inches wide, and this weld's gonna be 12 inches long. It's the biggest weld I've ever done. I don't know if I'm looking forward to it or dreading it, but anyway, I've done got it in my mind, so we're going to do it. So I wanted this thing, it's going to be large. I wanted it to come in probably, I was thinking 6 or 8 pounds is probably a decent weight. So after eyeballing my steel that I'm going to use, I went in and I weighed what I had here, and it weighs 8 pounds, 12.5 ounces. That's huge. It's going to be a real interesting, just getting a hold of it and holding it up with tongs. But it's in my mind, I'm doing it. Alright guys, here's where we're at on the hog splitter. Kind of loud in here. I got the forge running, I got the billet in it. My gosh, it's unbelievably heavy. I have a feeling I'm going to try to get my forge weld done. If I succeed, I'll probably just cut a bunch of it off, get rid of it. But quite the ordeal. It's going to take a while for this one to heat up. I don't know if you know or not, but I don't use flux when I do my forge weld. The flux is really hard on the forge. It's messy. It works. It keeps the oxygen out. I try to do that with other means, kerosene, WD-40, whatever. But on this billet, because it's so large, what I did was I put my core steel, the spring, and then put the sides on it, and I welded them all the way around on both sides. My thought on it is I actually sprayed a little WD-40 in it before I finished the last weld. The WD-40 will burn out the oxygen. There won't be no oxygen. It's sealed up behind the weld. It's the best I can do. Well, this thing is kicking my butt. But on a plus, I got it forged out. It's 4 inches wide. It's 16 inches long right there, but I still got this big bunch of steel right here. I'll be able to get me a pointer. I'll be able to draw this out a little more, out to 4 inches, and then squeeze this down and get my handle out here and get rid of all this and probably some of this. Have to cut this end off, get rid of that nub, although I may still be using it. But don't look like much now, but holy cow, it's a beast. So we'll keep plugging at it tomorrow. Day 2 on the hog splitter. I went ahead and cut that end off. I wanted to look at my welds anyway. So that's freaking heavy. I decided to shrink it down a little bit just so I don't have to build a new quench tank and everything else. But still going to be a monster. Let's see what I can get done. Alright, an hour and a half later. I can't handle that billet anymore. It's killing me. I'll show you where I'm at. So, there it is. So right now, it's got about a 16 and a half, 17-inch blade. I'll probably gain a little more here. I'll probably cut it off about right here. Still hot, watch it smoke. I'll probably cut it off about right here. I still got enough to stretch it out. I'll probably put about a 15-inch handle on it. We'll just pick another day. I'll cut the extra weight of it off and pick another day, and where I can see myself. We'll pick another day and throw it in the forge one more time. I think one more forging session ought to. What else I was going to do? So I'll probably cut this off, stretch out my handle. Actually, I'll leave it so it's thick and I can hold on to it. But I'm going to start drawing my bevel down. It's really thick right here. So I'm going to widen it a little more. Get a little taper on it. Get a distal taper on it this way. Probably punch a hole in the end of it to hang it up with. But I think one more day of forging and it'll be close. We'll see. I'll keep you posted. Alright, day number 3. Forging on the hog splitter. So I looked at it. I thought I seen a couple spots that made me question. I have found a couple inclusions in it. I'm going to go ahead and proceed on, and we'll see what happens. It's possible that possibly the low carbon steel didn't get a good forge weld in a couple spots, but we'll just keep going and see what happens. Alright, end of day 3 forging. Sorry I didn't record a lot of the hammer work. I put on some music and rocked it out. But I may change the handle just a little bit. We'll see. Have a look at it. Alright, here it is. Got a hole drifted in it. It's about 4 inches wide, probably, I don't know, 17 and a half, 18 inches long. I'll get better measurements on it. 15 or 16 inch handle. Give you an idea of the size of it. That anvil is 3 feet long. Actually, it's 37 inches. But it's pushing it. So I'll clean it up. We'll see what it looks like. I'm gonna cut this corner off. Right here was one of the little inclusions I was talking about. So I set my hole back. I'm just going to cut that corner off and have a look at the weld and make sure it's good. But it appears we have a roughed in hog splitter. And like I said, I may change the shape of this handle. We'll see. Alright, I had a few minutes today to clean up the hog splitter a little bit. But here it is. So I am going to change the handle. I'm going to curve this handle down because after holding it, it's good right here, but when it's down here, it needs to be kicked down. But I'm going to leave the forge marks in it on purpose. Something like this, I think it needs to show the work. But how's that for perspective? So the blade's 17.5 inches long. I guess that would be the ricasso on this, about, I don't know, 3 inches. 15-inch handle, total length 34.5 inches long. And I haven't weighed it yet, but whew, it's quite heavy. But I'll get the grinds. I'm probably just gonna put maybe an inch and a half bevel on this. Kind of a steeper grind, not quite like an axe, but close. But just thought I'd show you where I'm at. Told you guys I'd show you the hog splitter when it was done. Well, guess what? It's done. It's a little big. So it's Damascus Sanmai steel, got a 5160 core mild steel on the outside. You can see the core shining through there. Looks pretty cool. Got a spalted maple handle on it. Looks nice. Tapered just a little bit to give you a good hold, kick down for chopping. Gotta watch I chop the roof open. But imagine that. So I thought it would come in between 6 and 8 pounds. Guess what? It's the heaviest 4.5 pounds I've ever felt in my life. It is huge. It's got a 17-inch cutting edge, 14.5-inch handle, overall length about 34.5 inches, I believe, and it's a beast. Imagine that. All right, on to the next one.